we'll hear a report from Chair Suzanne Case, and she will be opening the meeting as well as introducing the report. So, Chair.
Thank you all. This is a great group, and I think it really reflects how seriously we take this issue. I'm Suzanne Case. I'm the co-chair with Leo Asuncion of the State of Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission. This is actually an official meeting of the commission today. I'm going to call it to order so that everybody can participate freely, and we'll close it at the end of the meeting. But first, I would like to take a moment to thank Governor Ige for your support for making climate change so central to your policies. It's really critical. I want to recognize our legislators here today. I saw Senator Kahele, Senator Wakai, Representative Lee, Representative Lowen, Representative Say. Could you stand and let everybody recognize you? And did I miss anyone? Okay. The legislature has been tremendously supportive of these initiatives. I also am very, very pleased to be able to report statements from all 4 members of our congressional delegation, which I think is also really reflects how seriously we all take these issues. And they've provided written statements. This is Congresswoman Gabbard's statement. And I'll just read excerpts from them right now. And we will be able to post them on our website. So from Senator Schatz, I'm proud to represent a state that is leading in climate issues, from the commitment to 100% renewable energy to creating the State Climate Commission. The commission is developing a bold agenda to address transportation emissions and sea level rise, and it is wonderful that each of you are joining them to help tackle these challenges. We need bold and creative thinking if we are going to resolve the climate crisis. I promise to continue this work in Washington, but these days the states have an essential role in driving action. So I look forward to hearing the innovative solutions resulting from your discussions. From Senator Hirono, the Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission recognizes the need to protect our communities, ecosystems, and economy in Hawaii. This conference is an opportunity for scientific experts and managers at the state and local levels to come together in achieving the shared goal of increasing our resilience to the impacts of climate change. The current partial government shutdown may unfortunately hamper the participation of critical federal agencies and employees in this conference. We need to reopen the federal government. Wishing you well. From Congresswoman Gabbard, without global action to drastically curb carbon pollution, climate change threatens the safety and security of the planet, especially here in Hawaii, where we are already experiencing its devastating effects. I applaud Hawaii for upholding our commitments under the UN Paris Agreement. I'm also thankful to the members of the Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission for their commitment to exploring and developing statewide policies to reduce carbon emissions, protect our water and agricultural security, conserve our natural resources, and create adaptation strategies to address continuing sea level rise. As we contemplate on the theme of this inaugural conference, Ha'okekai, Breath of the Sea, let us remember that we are stewards of the ocean and must work to protect it. In this case, pioneering a response to climate change challenges that lie before us, before our children's future. And from Congressman Case, to all the members and participants of the Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission, including state agencies, counties, legislators, the university, nonprofits, and others, mahalo for your leadership on this most critical topic. There is no greater existential threat to our Hawaii, our country, and our planet than human-caused global warming and its resulting dramatic increase in threats such as sea level rise, coastal erosion, coral bleaching, storms, fire, and drought, which we are already seeing. We need to tackle this quickly and meaningfully at all levels of government, especially national and local. Hawaii's global recognition on matters of sustainability and solving problems collaboratively provides a model for all. We can do this together, and we must for the good of all. Thank you to all of the members of our delegation for those statements. I'm going to take a moment to just introduce the legislative report, and I want to thank the members of the Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission for all of your work in accomplishing so much in a short time. If you want to raise your hand if you're an active member and a participant in the Climate Commission, please. Thank you very much. So first, we had a report to the legislature on activities with the Climate Change Commission. It was formally established in 2017. It captures basically Hawaii's commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement. We have that is a commitment to keeping global warming under 2 degrees Celsius, which, just to pause there, that is already scary. So we need to do everything we can to keep below that. We have a lot of goals for the state to do, projected there on the screen. And so the commission is our way of basically aligning everyone, making sure we're communicating well with each other at all levels of government and with all participants in society on it. So the first highlight that the commission did was to adopt the Cutting Edge Sea Level Rise report. And this really documents Hawaii's vulnerability along our coastal areas to exposure to sea level rise and coastal erosion. The report uses a scenario of 3.2 feet, 1 meter of sea level rise in characterizing that vulnerability. It's a highly technical report. It's a resource, and I have to say it's already gotten very, very broad recognition for its advanced work in really informing everyone what we should be planning for in the future. The Climate Commission established 2 main focuses this year. One is ground transportation emissions, and the other is implementation of the sea level rise report. So on 2 sides, one is mitigation and one is adaptation. We have very strong goals in Hawaii, and we have for a number of years on essentially renewable energy goals. So in the electricity sector, we have advanced very much. The next big step we need to take is really conversion of our ground transportation fleet. So that the commission is focused on as the next area that needs strong focus. And on the adaptation side, the focus is on next steps to implement the sea level rise report. The commission passed 5 recommendations for states and counties on sea level rise, disclosure for supporting legislation for disclosure for private property and public offerings in levels that are in the sea level rise exposure area, requesting all new development and redevelopment be directed away from beach areas, urging the counties to incorporate the 3.2 sea level rise exposure area into their general plans and development plans, encouraging agencies and non-governmental utility providers to identify and prioritize assets that are in this sea level rise exposure area and identify adaptation measures and to provide planning for the future. And then fifthly, to support legislation that funds state programs to help bring resources to assist in this planning and implementation for adaptation. We want to be able to be helpful in this planning and conversion for the future. The Commission issued a very strong statement in support of a carbon pricing mechanism as the most single effective action that will achieve our goals to reduce emissions for ground transportation. This is a view also supported by expert global institutions like the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and the International Monetary Fund. The specific mechanism was left open for creativity. But it's a strong statement of the need to come up with solutions to price carbon in a way that will influence behavior so that people find it beneficial to convert off of fossil fuel-based transportation. The Commission recognized that in doing this, we have to be equitable and appropriate for the people of Hawaii, and it's got to be a policy tool for protecting our future and must be adequate to change behavior. So to this end of addressing equity, the Commission passed a mission statement in September to promote ambitious, climate-neutral, culturally responsive strategies for climate change adaptation and mitigation in a manner that is clean, equitable, and resilient. We established an online presence, the online portal, climate.hawaii.gov. And what this is aiming to do is basically to tie together all the state efforts on climate change, adaptation, greenhouse gas sequestration, greenhouse gas inventory, the Hawaii Clean Energy Initiative, and the State Energy Office sites. We want to weave together all of the work that collaboratively people are working on, and also have established a social media presence on Facebook and Instagram that helps keep people informed of initiatives on climate and also gives the public an insight into these governmental processes. As part of the national climate response, Governor Ige mentioned his joining the 17-governor U.S. Climate Alliance, and so Hawaii is actively involved in several working groups, including resilience and transportation and natural and working lands. So for the coming year, we're focusing on fine-tuning these priorities. We want to help ensure that we're trying everything and we're walking in one path forward. And so this conference is an essential part of setting the tone for the rest of the year and helping inform the members of the Climate Commission and all the participants of different strategies that we can take to reduce our emissions and adapt to threats from climate change. We also want to do whatever we can to transfer technical expertise for adaptation to sea level rise, including requesting funding to support initiatives to basically be an expert resource on those scores. We want to support the transition to clean transportation, electric vehicle infrastructure, workplace EV charging stations, addressing our parking policies so that they appropriately support conversion off fossil fuel emission transportation, public awareness campaigns, fleet conversions, and car share programs. So all of these are kind of initiatives that we'll be working on moving forward. And so we will be taking what we learned from you today and what we learn along the way and working to expand and enhance the work of the Commission. We are hoping to get funding to be able to continue this work into the future. And with that, I want to just thank you all for being here and for your own commitment to tackling this problem.